Chris, I forgot to mute us on the intro, and I was so nervous for 10 seconds there. I was like, I'm going to cough, I'm going to cough, I'm going to cough, I'm going to cough. Hi, my name is Shawn Taylor. That guy over there, other way, it's mirrored, is Chris Ford, a.k.a. The Objective Geek, of YouTube and Twitter fame.
Right, no, wrong way.
Right, yeah, it feels, yeah, but...
And then we're a mixed person. named
Wrong anime, great idea, love it. Chris, how you doing, buddy? What's up?
I'm doing pretty great. Maybe still off of high of last weekend. I don't know. Or was that the weekend before? That was the weekend before.
Yeah, I suppose by the time people get this, that's fair. But for us, it's last weekend. I'm still riding a high because we had a panel. But Chris, before we talk about the Comic-Con and stuff too far, do you want to... I think A, you got a video coming up, and P, you had a spot of Avatar news-ish.
Do I have a video coming up? I don't think I do.
I made an assumption because I thought that you said you had something that was like private. And I was like, oh, well, it's just scheduled and is going to share it later. And so I was just making an assumption. If you're actually uploading private videos to YouTube, then, well, I apologize, and I don't want to know what those are about.
No, that was just... Gosh, I don't look at my private videos.
Putting videos out there on the deep web. I'll see
no, that
it
was
later.
just from... That what we were talking before was just that Korra video. That one was your scene that I had up. But I just remembered from that. No, I haven't put up a video in a couple weeks. Anyway, Avatar news.
Private Chris videos. Got it. Disappointment. I know everybody's upset.
In Avatar Netflix news. Avatar Netflix news. Oh, they have apparently casted Avatar Roku. So finally, and Roku. If I had to guess, just from his casting being late, he probably won't show up until the end of the season. They're changing a couple things up. So if I had to guess, each spot that Aang visits, he probably gets some type of connection to that avatar. Like he goes to Kyoshi Island, he sees Kyoshi, right? He goes to Northern Water Tribe, he sees Korra, because apparently Korra is also being casted. The Yangchen has not been casted yet, sorry. So it's probably going to be the similar stuff. So if I had to guess, he'll probably get to the Fire Nation last, or be some spiritual spot of Avatar Roku's last. Anyway, the person he's casted by, sorry, I don't know his name off the top of my head, and we just now thought about doing this, but I know him pretty well. Have you seen the show Dexter before?
Nope. I know what it is.
Great show.
It sounds like something that Heather would really enjoy, but it's not really my cup of tea.
Yeah.
She's probably watched
so
it.
Good.
I don't even know.
First 3 seasons are peak television, and then after that it's like, what the heck? And then at the very end, it's like, what in the... This makes zero sense. But anyway, he's been in Dexter. He's really just Dexter's... Really just a cop on Dexter. And he was really weird. Very horny all the time. That kind of weird. Like Master Roshi weird.
Oh.
if you watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
But the actor, I'm pretty sure can...
He's got range that he's not just going to be horny Roku. Hey, Aang, who's your girlfriend?
Instead of previously on Avatar, it's previously on Avatar.
The Avatar Roku, you're dead. Oh yeah.
But anyhow, and that's news. I really have no opinion about it, one way or the other. I mean, sure, Ken Watanabe would be such a great get. He's the one that says let them fight in King Kong versus whatever, or Godzilla and something. I think Godzilla King of Monsters, maybe. I forget. Also, he's in Batman Begins. He plays Decoy Ra's al Ghul.
Was that the
and
most recent Godzilla movie or King?
One of the no. It's really like the first Godzilla.
It's not the one with John C. Reilly in it. It's the one before that.
That was a King Kong. It wasn't a King Kong movie. It was in a Godzilla movie. I think the first one.
Okay.
I think so. Anyway, that's Ken Watanabe, who's not cast as Avatar Roku.
Who is not?
Was my fan cast as Avatar Roku. Anyway,
I hate that
they
don't ask your opinions.
Yeah, no, right. So that's any. I know you have no opinion on this either.
Nope. I got nothing.
Okay.
I'm sure this
We're supposed to.
everything I say, so like I'm gonna say the first thought that came into my head, but do this in the context of like, no, this is what I filtered out because I knew it would sound bad. But I thought of like, I don't know why I instantly jumped to Jackie Chan because like he was a good Miyagi in Karate Kid, and I was like, whatever, I want Jackie Chan in all my TV shows. But that sounds really stupid to say out loud. That's why I kept it inside here, and that's why I don't have opinions on these things.
I mean, I did originally cast Jackie Chan as Iroh, which I think it still would have been great.
That's
Although
still. I just want Jackie
I'm
Chan to win.
all on board for Paul. I forget his full name.
Iroh.
Um, yes, first who's
For actual
for is
Iroh.
Iroh.
Yeah.
We'll play Iroh. He seems great so far. He looks the part. I can't wait to see him. He's probably the thing I'm most excited for. He's very genuine and he's very even heartfelt in a lot of his podcasting that he does. So people ask him a lot about Avatar. Anyway, so that's all that news on that front. There's some no news on the recent episode of Brave in the Elements. You know, that other podcast that covers Avatar, got like
This your
voice
second
actors and
favorite
whatever.
Avatar podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, Bryke was on that, and it's a funny little bit, and I recorded it and put it on our Facebook page and our Twitter page as if it was our own. I did not do it as if it was our own thing. It's not our own thing. It clearly says Brave in the Elements on it. I'm not trying to steal their content. Um, but uh, oh, Janet Varney was like, "So, Brian, I'm sure you guys are all busy at Avatar Studios working on," and then he was just like, "Avatar stuff. Yeah, you're telling the story of things."
Somebody in
And
the Avatar universe.
yeah, and she was like, "I couldn't." She was like, "I had to ask," and pretty much, then Brian, sorry, not Brian, uh, Mike just went on to say like, I am happy that everyone's really excited and stuff. Just got to wait a little bit longer because animation takes forever and development. Also, developing a TV show, it takes forever as well. So just stay patient. And then Brian China was like, but there's going to hit a certain point where there's going to be a lot of things. And that gets me thinking that there's going to be at least three things that come out of it.
The Avatar
In the
cinematic universe.
yeah. Three things that at least come out within probably a couple a year or so of each other. So
I mean,
so that's all. That's the no news on that
why
front.
not capitalize on the hype, right? I get it. Come out big, come out swinging. Chris, this will probably be an unusually relatively short episode because I am a procrastinator and I procrastinated too long, and here we are. But anyway, we wanted to also just, if you're not totally sick of us talking about it right now, but now already, because we had a great time at Con, so we were just going to share our thoughts and, in hindsight, favorite things about Con, and a little bit about our panel that we had because we're famous, except for that it's just because we asked for it. Chris, favorite part of Con?
I want to start from the back. I want to start
Chronological?
sort of
Okay,
chronologically. It won't take long, I promise, because there's really not that much happened throughout the day, honestly.
that's
Um,
fair.
but I want to go way back. I want to go a year back to when we're leaving last year's Comic Con. I remember driving a car and thinking like, we should host a panel. Like, and then you're like, yeah, we should. At least I guess I might be remembering that wrong. It might be your idea. It doesn't matter. Um,
I remember just
but
thinking, oh,
then
that's a good idea. I wonder how that'll go. I don't know how much that
yeah,
came out of my mouth, but like, I
like
wonder how you do
and
that.
my initial thought in my head was like, sure, we can gather like at least a dozen Avatar or like 5 or 6 Avatar fans, even in the hallway of that area. Like, and we could just do our own little panel. Like, we don't have to sign up for something. And then I think throughout, just thought like, well, we could actually just ask to do a panel. Like, sure, we could. We could ask them. Sure, they'll probably say no. And and then yeah, sure enough, I filled out the application. We got approved to do the panel. Got in free. Turns out it really wasn't that difficult. I don't think in hindsight.
There,
Um,
at no point did they ask Chris if he was famous, and that was
that's true.
that
The
was
thing
an
is,
important part of it.
I wrote like a 2 paragraph because I sent it to you for you to proofread, and I sent it to them to their email, And the person on the back, like, there's just an application form you can just fill out. Like, oh, I didn't have to do all of that.
Listen, that's a
Like
really
I am.
impressive 2 paragraphs you got there, my friend. But here's a PDF. It's
Yeah,
fillable. You can just.
just just fill that out. You don't need to give me your life story and your goals and stuff. Like, all right. So
But our
anyway,
hearts were in
so
the right place.
yeah. And then found out that we got to get it for free, and then asked John, like, "Hey, John, you want to come?" And then because John was on the podcast before talking about the Batman, I know John from college. I know he's been to plenty of Comic Con, Planet City Comic Cons, even though we haven't seen him in the past. I think one time I did see him, but didn't know that was him. He was dressed as Casey Jones. Um, and because I saw a picture of him later on Facebook, I was like, "Oh crap, that was you."
Well,
Okay,
and when you're both
yeah,
dressed up, it's pretty hard to tell unless you literally like.
that is true.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that year I was Batman, which is just as hard as Amon to. Actually, Amon is really
I was
hard.
gonna
Like
say
from
Amon probably harder because at least Batman's like, all right, this could be Chris right here. There's a black chin.
yeah,
It's a possibility.
you can't just look at my hands and be, oh, that's Chris.
That's
I know
there they
you're
are. He's
being
got very distinctive hands.
yeah, you're being hand racist at that point. Thinking all people with with brown hands look
That
alike.
feels even worse than the regular. Like it's not all y'all look alike. It's like just your hands. That's how. That's all I
Yeah,
need.
I would say black people hands. This sounds weird. Black people hands are weird. Like the palm of my hand is the same color probably as your palm of your hand, but like there's a distinct line where the brown starts. And I'm always like, how the heck is that? Like, I don't know. I'm always like, it's
When all
anyway,
white
not
people
important.
hands, they just can't get any whiter. So it
Yeah,
just is.
but like I said, if you look at my hand, right,
It's a
like
really distinctive
there's
line. Yeah.
it.
It's like you
It's
tan the top of your hands, like you rest your hands like under. Maybe
yeah.
that's what it is all day under the lights at work.
Nah, it's it. That's my hands aren't that. It would be a lot more uh,
Let's.
shaded
We
in. It
have to
won't be as
prove
like
this.
there's.
We have to prove this by finding a palms up profession, somebody who works like this for a living, so we can compare. It's the only
No,
way.
there's something with how melanin reacts. It's just melanin does nothing on your palms for some reason or your feet.
I guess that
But
makes sense.
anyway,
Yeah.
not important. Sorry, we're
No, but
definitely
I am curious now.
really.
Is there a distinctive line on your foot also?
Yeah.
Hmm, interesting.
Wait, is there?
Uh,
Uh,
no,
actually, my foot's not bad. Actually, like my
I
foot, it's
never,
it's way more,
I never thought
it's
about it
way
before.
more gradual with the
It,
foot.
like way
Let's
more
see.
of a normal gradient rather than a line. So
Yeah.
okay.
Wait. Stretch. There we go.
Is this
That's
the
a
first
little
time you've ever shown your foot on a podcast or a YouTube video? Because I kind of hope it
probably.
is. Yeah. I secretly hope it doesn't happen often.
It's not. That's a first. Anyway, sorry,
We're gonna
people.
charge extra. We're gonna charge extra for that scene. That's the uncut. Patreon
For the horn
subscribers only.
for the horny Roku's
For
out
the
there.
foot horny Roku feet videos.
Anyway, um, gosh.
Wouldn't it be
Okay,
great if
Comic
horny
Con.
Roku only bent fire with foot parts of the martial artistry? He didn't use his hands ever, just kicks. That'd be incredible.
Anyway, so I get to your house early Saturday morning. Anyway, we wait in line for a while for yeah. Anyway, we wait in line for a while for Philomar. Line wasn't long, just took a long time. Anyway, met him. Wait, also I dressed as Static first, and then after meeting him, then went to go change into Amon, which that's good. And Amon is definitely my favorite thing to cosplay as because it is not as warm as any of the other costumes. Like I feel it looks like it could be warm, but it's not. It's
It looks very
pretty
sweatery, yeah.
yeah, it's pretty flowy and stuff. Like I wasn't usually by the end of the day, I just have a back of sweat, and I just take off my shirt and I'm just like, this is just drenched and sweat. Not the case this time. Um, and then pretty much the rest of the day, I feel like we just walked. We went to one panel, which was Just Sleep panel, which that was great.
It's great. Loved it.
And then I was very close to buying a $200 piece of art. It was worth $2. It was hand pencils, probably about 30 inch by 30 inch, bigger than that probably 40 by 40, of a bunch of Jokers, and I didn't buy it, which is fine. It's good. I ended up buying, which I finally framed the Batman picture, which is I love it actually. It's pretty
I
great. It was
forget,
only
is it
like
the metallic or just the glossy?
just glossy, just glossy. I did not go the metallic route. And then also got this statue of Tanjiro
Oh,
from
nice.
from
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer. Yeah,
Uh,
I did not spend that much money at Comic Con to my dismay.
to your surprise.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, the more I thought about it later after the fact. So in the moment, I was just with you, like, hey, if you're gonna buy it, you're gonna buy it. If not, whatever. What doesn't make a difference to me. After the fact, though, the more I thought about it, I don't like pencil sketches quite as much. So it's not that it's not worth $200.
Mm.
It just isn't my
Mhm.
personal brand of art. I like color. I
Yeah.
especially like vibrant art in particular. So it's secretly internally, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm kind of glad he didn't do that. But
Okay.
it makes no real difference to me.
Yeah.
Um, we spent a fair bit of time, not like we were stopped and talking, but it was cool to just to spend time with John and a lot of time in conversation with John. And we tried to go to the Adam Savage panel, which had the longest panel line we have ever seen.
That thing was huge.
It,
It went long. I had no idea
I,
Adam Savage was that
I didn't either.
popular.
Obviously, I like him. I just can't fathom in my brain that that was such a popular thing at
Like, what does he
con.
talk about?
I think he probably is mostly Q&A, right? People are gonna walk up and be like, "What was your
Yeah.
favorite MythBusters thing? What was your least favorite? Is it true that you don't like Jamie?" Like it's gonna be that kind of stuff.
Did he not like Jamie? Was Jamie
That's
the
just it.
girl?
Is there's the internet likes to make a really big deal out of it. I think they just it's not like they just weren't like friends. They
Oh,
just
okay.
coworkers, different humans, right? But the internet likes to make that sound like it's a
That's
big
true.
deal, yeah. So,
Yeah.
and then I spent $0, which usually I at least use it as an excuse to buy Heather something Harry Pottery, but um, no, it was great. We saw Bryan, who we see every year. I think he was Kingpin again.
Yes.
Although his Kingpin's looking
Yes.
more slender these days. Trim it down for a wedding. What else did we do?
Honestly, the day went by pretty fast.
It
I
did. I
like
think it
weirdly,
was mostly. I'm gonna credit John to some degree, just because it was it felt like we were constantly in some conversation mode.
that's true.
And when you have three people as opposed to just us, and as somebody else, new things, new subjects,
Yeah.
I think that made the day go really fast. And so then, Chris, at like I don't know,
Yes.
5:45 or whatever, we walked back out to the car for another costume change. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but
I make you sound so high maintenance. Oh my god, he had to change outfits all the time. No, it wasn't really that bad. And we collected a few prizes that were mostly provided by yourself. Thank you for that. And not enough pencils and papers. And went
okay. So
to
wait. Let's
no no. Yeah, I want to
let me,
lead up to this part. I want to lead up to us
yeah.
getting to the hallway, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yeah.
we come up to
Uh.
the hallway, and a lady and there's four rooms, and there's like kind of standard groups of people in the hallway,
Uh.
seemingly waiting for the rooms. And the lady's like, Are you here for the Avatar panel?" And I was like, I said it sarcastically, but not. But like, I was like, I am the Avatar panel. She
Like,
didn't care either way. She was not impressed or mad or anything. She's just like, okay, go over there. Like she did not.
I heard her. Because so my for some reason I wasn't part of that conversation because there was a girl dressed as Korra, and I wanted to get a picture with the girl dressed as Korra. Which you guys can see all of our pictures on Facebook and on our actually it's all on Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah.
If you want to go out there.
I think
So
you put a
I want
few
to
of
get a
them on
picture with
Twitter
Korra because I
also.
was like, oh, I gotta find a Korra to take a picture with because I'm a mon. And so anyway, so I see the line and I see her. Not I'm sorry. I see the lady who's responsible for managing the line.
Hmm?
And usually those people are only there to manage the line because the line is long.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, she's she's waiting in our line. So then, and there's people sitting down, like lined up towards our door. For
But
some
you
reason, it still
can't
doesn't
tell
hit me.
exactly which door they're in, right? Because
Yes,
we're on the end, so they could have been that door or our door.
yes.
That's the
So it
catch
didn't
here.
hit me that they were waiting for our panel, and so there's Nut Tuck guy dressed as Nut Tuck,
Who you
had
had
the
a pretty
belly
good
all
idea
yeah,
was
and so
waiting for.
I talked to him, took pictures with him, and I was like, "What line are you in?" He's like, "Oh, I'm in for the Avatar panel." I was like, "Oh, I'm hosting the panel," and then and
You
he was
didn't
like,
pull out
"Really?"
the
I was like,
assholish. I am the panel.
"I
I
I'm
don't
sorry."
know why I said that. If
No, I
I could
didn't.
do it, that lady didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. So get to the panel. Anyway. So also, and he was like, "Hey, well, can you tell me like what questions, like what is the span?" And at first, I was about to tell him, and I was like, "Wait, no, I can't tell you. Like, I don't want to give you." He was like, "It doesn't matter. I'm going to win anyway. So keep that in mind."
Yeah, it's important.
I was like, oh, "Okay." So anyway, we get in, and
Chris, I
the
want to
My Hero
offer one
panel.
more. I want to offer one more piece of flavor text, and that's that all day. If
Yes.
we saw anybody that like took a picture with Chris
Yes.
or
Yes.
anything,
Yes.
all day we're like, hey, you should come to our Avatar panel. It's at 6:30. We know it's a crappy time, but it's gonna have some door prizes and stuff. Come on down. And all day we're
Like
like,
we
hey, it's
were.
probably not gonna be very big. It's gonna be late, but come on, maybe you win a prize.
Yeah, because every person. Okay, so we probably did that to like.
15,
Well, so I was dressed as a mon,
15 people.
so I took pictures with lots of people that wanted to take pictures. So anyone who took pictures with me, I was like, hey, you must be in the Avatar. We got an Avatar panel, and I feel like only one person knew about the panel and was like,
Huh?
yes, I'm coming to it. Maybe two or two groups of people, and then so out of probably about 15 people or so, I probably took more pictures than that, but
Huh?
actually I would say 20. Um,
That sounds
so
right.
probably only 10% knew about the panel and knew they were going to the panel and planned to go. Another 10%, I told them about the panel and they're like, yeah, I'll
But
go.
like, yeah, and
And other
even
than
then, it's
that,
not. They weren't like jacked. They're just like, oh yeah, that sounds fun.
yeah. And other than that, everyone else was like, I don't
So
know.
all day we're just like, I hope there's like 6 or 7 people. So at least if there's like we had a contingency planned of if we had like 7 or 8 prizes.
Eight. Yeah, we had 8 prizes.
If we got
No,
eight
we had
prizes
7 prizes.
and 10
Yeah,
people
sorry.
show up, I will walk out to the floor and I will buy those other 3 people a beer or a prize or
Yeah,
something.
so they wouldn't feel left out.
I'll hand them a fiver, which is not as much as a beer, but so yeah, contingency plans all day. That's my last piece of
Yeah,
flavor text there.
yeah. So I one thing, walk into the room because the panel right before ours was a My Hero panel, and it was had a pretty good number
Hmm?
of people in there. It was probably about, if I had to guess, 70% filled, maybe 60, 70% filled. Um, and like people were still staying in the room when we walked in. And I was like, oh yes, like in my head, like yes, we at least got these people and a couple people outside in the hallway, which will probably was like at that point about a dozen or so people. That was thought in my head. But also, I was surprised, like, oh, there's an actual like big table. Like, oh, there's microphones. Oh, okay, there's microphones. And then, um, but then I started to realize, like, oh crap, like a bunch of people are coming in, like more than so to put this in perspective, we in my head, in our heads, we thought like, oh, you know what, maybe 8 or so people will come. In my head, at most, 15 people are going to come. But then when I were going over like numbers and stuff, I was like, oh, well, print off about 30 test scores, test answer sheets, and then you ended up doing 50, and that was not enough. Like the room packed open. They brought in chairs from other rooms, and we soon we ran out of answer sheets because there was 70, I think he counted 70, probably 78 people
Yes, and that was
actually
just
were
some
in the
people were
trivia.
sharing. That was just answer sheets, but some people were sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. And so luckily there would just happen to be a random piece of paper. Not luckily it was a random notepad just sitting on the table that we got to use as scrap answer sheets Because if it wasn't for that, we would have had to disappoint like 30 people, and I would have hated to have to
Sorry, one in,
disappoint
one out,
30
kids.
people.
Yeah, that would have
Yeah.
felt pretty bad. So I'm glad that that notebook was the real saver of the day.
Yes, and I'm glad that, and this is a good thing about working with people and teams, that people are able to uh tell you your plan is crap and in a nice, polite way, and all of our different suggestions. Because in my head, I was like, all right, 12 people will come. John, because we need John to do something.
He was our
John can,
assistant. Yes.
John can, in my head, John can hand out answer sheets and then grade them, right? And even John at first was like, dude, that's gonna be a lot of stuff. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's like 12 people. And so you and John, even before we got there, was just like, hey, just have them grade. I was like, all right. And then we adapted and also throughout the panel.
I was already
Um,
scheming in my head as soon as he said that's never gonna work.
okay, good. Yeah, it's good. It's good to have people to tell you your ideas stuff. Uh, but
Make it
yeah,
sound so harsh. It was a very pleasant conversation. It was like, hey, Chris, there might be too many. It might take so long. Let's just make them grade their own. And you're like, yeah, okay.
yeah. um, so panel starts, and then we I was had my Mon mask on the whole time. Next year, if we do it, I probably won't wear the Mon mask. 'Cause in looking back and watching back, I realize I'm not as audible as you are. I mean, I wasn't bad, but still.
Nobody
But
complained,
panel
yeah.
starts and went off great. Like the crowd was good. I feel like I felt weird. Like I feel like that was the best time I ever had at controlling a crowd and stuff, and like being
Which fits
like
the costume, of course.
that is yeah.
You have a stage
Um,
presence as a Mon.
yeah. I felt like I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Like it wasn't just like a let me read this question. All right. It was a lot of good give and take from the crowd and to us, especially when we got hard when they got hard
They
questions.
hated the book questions. They hated
Like
them.
when so yeah, so I had like three or four Avatar Kyoshi from the Kyoshi novel books. Thing is, so when I created these questions, I like maybe 10 of we had 30 questions, maybe 10 of them I actually looked up just after I trivia, and then after a while, just like it's just much easier for me to just do this things on top of my head. And I was just doing these things on top of my head. I wasn't even fact checking them because I was so sure that these things were right. And some of them were just like, all right, this is too easy, but whatever. Um, I was like, should I make this Kyoshi question? What's the mother's name of the firebender that come in here? I'm like, maybe that's too hard. I'll just say Rangi. People should know Rangi, but honestly, not that many people have probably
It
read the
didn't
Kyoshi
sound like
novels.
there was not a
Oh,
book heavy
there
crowd.
there was that one question that about the Kyoshi novels. It was what airbending monk was a father figure and mentor to Avatar.
That
And
was
then
the
I didn't
meanest. That
pause.
was the meanest question that you.
I didn't I didn't pause, but everyone assumed that I was going to say Avatar Aang, and that the answer was Gyatso. I said Avatar Kyoshi, and it was just a, a sigh, just
Because
over
we'd
and
been
just
telling him all day, like, hey,
ugh.
don't scribble anything out. That way we know you're just writing one answer down, right? And
Yeah,
on that question, we're like, yeah, you can go ahead and scribble that first answer out.
yeah. And honestly, I think maybe only two people got it right. But
Yeah. That was, I think,
oh
if you care to throw this out there or have your own, that specific moment was probably my favorite part of Con, was that
yeah, oh yeah.
overwhelming reaction of outrage to your question.
Yeah. And then when we got to the last one, it was like, and that was the last Avatar Kyoshi question. And then people like sort of cheered.
There was applause.
Yeah, that was fun.
Uh,
Um,
it was great. I loved it.
yeah. And then I would say and it's weird because of stupid humor. But when John pulled the 69 number out, that was fun.
That
And it
was
was funny because I could not keep my composure
I couldn't
even
either.
though I was under
And then the
a
next question was
mask.
something about how many kids did Aang and Katara
Yeah.
have, and that just made it better
Yes.
for me. They,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, Chris, if you got a favorite con moment, panel or non-panel or both, maybe one of each, but
I mean, definitely the panel.
yeah,
I mean, I think I think don't know the answers at the end was my favorite moment for some reason because
reactions.
I felt a lot of good reactions of people being like, "Yes, I got it!" Like I like seeing that sense of pride in other people's Avatar knowledge of being like, yes, I knew this thing, I wrote it down, I got it. So that was really fun. Or the agony of defeat. Of like, oh, I didn't get
The groans.
it. Yeah.
The collective groans. Kuruk, or
That
sorry,
specifically.
not Kuruk.
Nuktuk.
Nuptuk. Yeah, Nuptuk guy did
Yes.
win. He backed up his promise.
Nuktuk guy did win. He
Handily
backed up his
by
promise.
a few questions. 3 questions, I think.
Yeah, what he got? He got 23 answers, correct?
I was thinking
23
he had
questions, correct?
23 or 24, something
Okay.
there.
That's good, actually.
And then,
so next year, I'll keep going.
And then second place was a clear winner, but then we still got to throw out the tiebreaker questions for third, which I gotta be honest is a great breakdown. Like you got a clear winner, perfect, and then clear second place, perfect. Last prize, third place tiebreaker. I loved it. Got to use all the questions.
Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun. I was glad to have John there to really help out. And everyone, I love that when you say that he hasn't watched Legend of Korra, everyone gave him crap about it, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Peer pressure at its finest in public and from a crowd.
Yeah, but so I was so surprised that there were no one. I've never got. It's been such a long time since a microphone has been put in front of me, and that's I don't know. And then free water bottles. Yeah.
Yeah, when they gave me the free water bottle, I was like, "This is like a $5 4-ounce water bottle right here. This is a big deal."
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. So hopefully, hopefully we get to do it again next year. Hopefully everyone's available to do it next year. And I weirdly enough, one thing I've already been making more Avatar trivia because it just goes in my head, and so I just write it down and write the answer down. But I did already buy a prize for next year because it was on sale at Hot Topic. It's just the Blue Spirit Funko Pop.
Nice, stellar choice.
Yeah, it was like $8. So I was like, oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Chris.
So next,
yeah.
Oh, I was like next year I'll try to. I know. I'll try to make it to where, on average, a person should be able to get like half the questions right.
I thought the difficulty on average, for a big trivia group, I thought the difficulty was fine. You do not want a big group trivia to be too easy.
Yeah, I mean, you got to weed out the very strong from the weak, but I still want people to feel like they did good and had a chance and had fun. I feel like when you get questions right, you have fun.
You can't have too many tiebreakers at the end, though. You got to be careful.
That's true. I'll make some really, really hard. I'll make 5 really, really hard ones.
I vow to print 100 pieces of paper next year.
Yeah. Maybe they will be multiple choice. I don't know. I do think next year we will. I do really want to make a PowerPoint. One thing, because some people might be deaf or hard of hearing, and that's something I didn't really consider.
Multiple choice instantly makes it easier, though. And Chris, don't forget, I worked in I've worked in certification testing for 2 years. It is really, really hard, especially in a finite subject matter, to write good distractors. So answers that are plausible but not correct.
Yes.
I hate it. I literally despise it. And you think they're good, and then you look at it later, and they're not good. It's I will fight that one. I don't want multi-choice. But I do want PowerPoint. I think people in the back also just having the PowerPoint there. I don't know. It feels more official somehow.
Yeah.
More proper. But
I can't. Oh, one thing did not mention. I broke the law.
Knowingly, premeditated.
Very premeditated. So when we got I got to Shawn's house. We drove in my car to the con. We pretty much got within the block of the con 20 minutes before the con started, but we were in line to get into this parking garage for like 30 minutes. And the line was not going anywhere because we were in the lane. They tried to make a left turn to the garage. Oncoming traffic only has to make a right turn, and you had to wait on the light. And so that just meant we just kept getting backed up. And so there was a point there where just like, it would be much easier if I turned on a red light because there would be no traffic coming. One thing, traffic wasn't coming from left or right.
That's the key here. No traffic can't come from the right, and it wasn't coming from the left. So
yes,
we're all staring at this red light like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, ran a red light. The thing is, the
Crosswalk
person
people
behind me
covering
must have been
us.
like,
The people
yeah, the
walking across the
person.
crosswalk were covering us from oncoming traffic,
Yes, yep, yeah, because they were crossing that way.
left to right.
Um, yeah, and so that blocked off the traffic, and I was able to come in into the thing. The
What
thing is,
we're
the car
saying is
behind
we
me.
used people as a human shield against Chris's car
Yeah,
to make an illegal
yeah,
left-hand turn.
yeah. The thing is, the car behind me were probably like, "Holy crap, that guy's a genius! I need to do what he did." And then, and they turned like right after me on the red, but they weren't like planning it out. They were still sort of in the way of of
They got caught
of the next
behind,
car.
sort of behind us, behind the next person. Like we timed it. We waited
Yeah.
for this is safe crosswalkers. This person has a gap for us behind them. We waited. They just followed you. So,
Yeah.
but Chris, you know what they
Next
say?
time,
The second person gets caught. So we were gonna be fine.
that is true. That is true. Yeah. But no, it was a great panel. Like so it was just a great
Yeah.
time. Met Phil Lamar. I didn't mention that. Met Phil Lamar. That was great.
Mm.
Um, and I remember I came home. My wife was just like, "You're in a really good mood." Like I was. It was. It was nuts.
I called
Like
my
to be
wife as
honest,
soon
it
as I
was
got home, and she was like at a party, like having fun or something. Because I called her and told her about it. I was jacked. Yeah. Well,
like that might be one of the funnest things I've ever done.
same. Yeah, it's very high up there.
Yeah. The thing is, my mom. Well, I told my mom about it or my sister about it at some point in time, and then she texted me. She's like, "Oh, how'd your thing go?" I was like, "Oh, it was great." And she's like, "Send me some pictures." And I was like, "All right, that's." And then I sent her pictures of it. She's like, "Oh, really good costume. You got a good crowd. Nice couch." She said nice couch because I also sent her pictures of a new couch that I got. But it's just weird to see. It's just weird that letting that side of my life that my mom sees and she comments on it and she's like, "Oh, you got a good crowd." Like, "Oh, thanks, mom."
I have four siblings. I showed one of them,
Yeah,
and even he's not a nerd like in the least bit, but he has some amount of like at least he knows what a Comic Con is. The
yeah.
other ones might not, to be honest. Well, hey, Chris, yeah, I had a blast. We'll definitely do it next year, and we'll learn some valuable lessons. Already have learned some valuable
Yes.
lessons.
For at
And
least 100 and well, you never know. Maybe we'll get moved up and into a
I hope they
better. One
we
thing
have
I'm
to
not.
make sure they recognize it's us. Like, listen, this is very successful. Here's pictures. Pictures
Yeah,
get
like I'm
spit
I'm
out.
waiting I'm waiting on some type of email from them of just like either, "Hey, we heard your panel was terrific and went great. We want to make sure you come back," or even just like a, "Hey, how would you rate your panel?" and stuff.
Yeah, that would anything would be ideal that we can follow up. Be like, yes, I want to do this again
And then
next year.
next year we're titling it Avatar Trivia presented by Avatar the Last Podcasters.
That's it. That's the title. We're gonna take some credit and pretend that people
Yeah.
came there for us, and they didn't.
Yeah.
But we're gonna pretend.
And then the Watch Planet Comicon be like, "What? Do you guys want your own table?" No, I do
It's,
not want my own table. That sounds horrendous. Unless it could be like a
if there's two of
hey, people just
us,
come by.
or if there's three of us, we'll make our assistant John sit at the table. We'll go in shifts. I don't know what we're gonna
Like,
do
look,
at our table. We just have an empty table, just be sitting there like, "What's up?"
I would only like it if we got like a small room that Avatar fans can come into, and then we can just have a really long discussion on Avatar. Oh, that's another thing I want to do next year is maybe take the questions down to 25. That way we can just have a little bit more time for conversations and discussions. Because I just like, and I know how to sneak it in. At least one at the beginning and then one at the end. Of just maybe one in the middle. I don't know. Oh, and our door prizes went really well too.
Hmm? Yeah,
Even though
see, valuable takeaways, but still wildly successful, in my humble opinion.
it was, Shawn. It was the best thing at the con with less than 100 people, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and there might have been 100 people in there. I think it was probably close. I would say it was,
True.
yeah. But Chris, I gotta go pack for a weekend trip.
Yes.
But thank you all for indulging us and letting us just relive it. This is like our final our last hurrah. Like, we had a panel. But we will do it again next year. And thanks for hearing us out. We hope that it was at least moderately audible to listen to in podcast form. We tried to place it so that you could hear it.
It was so good, Shawn. I re-listened back. It's fairly audible.
I listened to the question and answers with Heather. Actually, that was a lot of fun. And the question and answers in particular was audible, I thought. So,
yeah.
Well, hey, thanks a lot, Chris. Nice to talk to you as always. My name's Shawn. That's Chris Ford, aka the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter. Semi-famous.
Wait, wrong way.
Oh, there we go. Wait, no, there we go. I gotta get my hands just right. Oh. There we go. This has been Avatar: The Last Podcasters. Sorry, audio only listeners. We're doing Dragon Ball stuff. Don't worry about it. And hey, thank you.
Or the Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance is the same. Sorry, Dragon Dance is the same movement.
I gotta be honest. I was thinking Dragon Ball. I totally forgot about the Dragon Dance at the end there. Oh,
I was thinking Dragon Ball Z because it's a fusion dance.
Yeah.
But
I forgot that.
But the two dances.
Zuko and Aang in the dance there.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Hey.
That must be some tradition. I'm sorry, some traditional thing because I've seen that in at least 2 shows. So it must be some traditional Asian art of dancing martial arts.
Maybe Bryke is just big Dragon Ball Z fans. No, I think it probably has. I would totally believe it if it had that it has some origin.
Like the anime they say they're into, I can't even get into it. Like it's so different than Avatar in a sense. I'm like, why are they? I mean, they're also into Miyazaki, and I get that, completely get that. But there's other anime that I'm just like, this anime is freaking weird. But anyway,
I'm done. That means a lot coming from you. Thank you guys all so much. We will we'll talk to you next week. Chris, I'm not muting you on purpose. You got one final chance to get your thoughts.
Chance for what?
To say whatever you feel. So it's in your chest.
I don't know.
Or what's literally on your chest. Is that Lion King? It looks like Lion King.
It is Lion King, yes. Simba.
Nice.